We have huge updates regarding some of the Canucks' top prospects, with one player dominating the SHL and the other one is coming to North America. I'll get into this later on this episode. Before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you watching that aren't subscribed, if you're enjoying this daily Canucks content, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. Never miss another episode, as we'll be covering everything from around the Canucks. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is Elias Pettersson is officially a Canuck. Now, if you did see the Vancouver Canucks account or the PR on X or Twitter, whatever it's called, General Manager Patrik Allvin announced today that Elias Pettersson has been assigned to Abbotsford from Örebro. Now, obviously, you don't want to get this confused with Elias Pettersson that's with the team. This is obviously DPD. So when you do look at DPD, at the age of 20, he was just playing in the Tier 2 of the SHL. He's 6'4", 210 pounds, left-handed shot. He was a third-round pick by the Canucks in 2022. He was 80th overall, and he has been showing so many signs of development, not just in the offseason, but going into the SHL. This guy has been absolutely dominating the SHL Tier 2 league. He has put weight on, he's put muscle on, and he's been an absolute force to deal with. This is a guy that's a complete defense-first defenseman. He shuts teams down, and he's just going to make an impact, not on Abbotsford, but on the Vancouver Canucks in the near future. Now, when you do look at him, as I said, this guy has a lot of experience. At the age of 20, you can see that he's played in the U20 International Junior League. He played in the World Championships in the juniors. He has 7 games, 2 assists. You can see in the Tier 2 league, he has 34 games, 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points. You can see with Örebro in the Tier 1 league, he did get 4 games in. But overall, this guy has shown that he can do it at each level. He showed that he can play in the Tier 1 league. He has 4 games. You can see in the Tier 2 league, he played outstanding with 14 points in 34 games. World Juniors he played. In the International Juniors he's played. And as you can see on the screenshot, which is super exciting, just underneath the Tier 2 league, Abbotsford Canucks of the AHL. Now, obviously, there's dashes because he hasn't played yet, but this is super exciting to get this guy over onto North American ice in Abbotsford's quest to make it to the Calder Cup finals and win the Calder Cup. Now, when you do look at DPD and you want to know more about him, just look at Elite Prospects Draft Guide. They say, Elias is a good skater with a long stride. He can travel with the puck and is quick out of the corners. Elias is very involved in the game and drives it with a strong first pass or puck traveling. He has good control and is head up. He uses mobility to reach the close gaps and likes to shut down with a hit too. Elias is not only physical, he is highly competitive in his own end too. When his team needs him, he steps up. And obviously this was Elite Prospects 2022 NHL Draft Guide. Now the big thing with Elias Pettersson is, will he make the Canucks this season? No. This guy's going to come over. He needs to translate to North American ice. It might be a small translation, but once he gets his footing, once he gets used to this team, the system, he's going to dominate and it's going to happen fast. This is a guy that's a complete shutdown defenseman. He looks like a future top 4 for the Canucks. At the very least, he's going to be in their top 6 of defensemen. He's going to play the left side. He's going to come at a cheap cap hit when he does make the team. Maybe he impresses at a camp next season. Maybe he does it after the playoffs. The team looks at him and says, hey, we need a guy like this. We want him up now. He's going to come in. He's going to play penalty kill time. I can't see him hopping into the power play, especially in the NHL. But if he does continue to just kind of improve his offensive game, maybe this is somewhere we'll see him. But I think he's going to be a staple on the Canucks, and I mean Abbotsford and the Vancouver Canucks, top penalty kill unit for the years to come. So what's your guys' thoughts on Elias Pettersson? Are you excited that DPD is finally in North America? How do you think he fares on North American ice with Abbotsford? And what do you think the timeline before we finally see him in a Vancouver Canucks jersey? Now, talking about players in the SHL, it goes into the second topic today, which is super exciting in my opinion to talk about. Jonathan Lekkerimäki continues to dominate. Now, when you do look at it, Dave Hall tweeted out, with the goaltender pulled, Lekkerimaki snaps a shot from the point before Glenn Gustafsson buries the rebound to tie the game late. Örebro's playoff hopes are alive. And then he quote tweets it with, Örebro wins in a shootout. Lekkerimaki did end up missing, though this is one of his specialties. Lekkerimaki picks up the late game tying assist that sends them off, and which sends them straight to the SHL playoffs. Now, when you do look at this, Lekkerimaki and their team is heading into the SHL playoffs, but at the end of the SHL regular season, Jonathan Lekkerimäki has 19 goals, leads all under 24 skaters, 31 points, second among U24 skaters, and he led the U23 skaters. 7 game-winning goals, which is third in the SHL. 12 even strength points, fifth in the SHL. 6 power play goals, which was fifth in the SHL. And a 52 CF percentage, which was third on the team. This guy has been dominant at each level. I mean, it was just this season we've seen him win a silver medal in the World Juniors. We've seen him do an outstanding Michigan goal just this season. And when you do look at it, as I said, this is good news, but it's also not the best news. Obviously, Canucks fans were super excited for Lekkerimäki to finally make it over to the team. But now that Örebro is going to make the SHL playoffs, as you can see on March 14th and March 16th, they do have 2 games. If they do win the best of 3, they do advance to a 7-game series and continue on. So it seems like the Canucks, Abbotsford, Vancouver, whatever it might be, are going to be waiting a tiny bit for Lekkerimäki. Now, when you do look at Jonathan Lekkerimäki, just in case you missed me covering him before, he's a right wing, 5'11", 172 pounds. In 2022, the same draft class as DPD, they drafted him 15th overall, and you can just see the highlights on the bottom of all the awards he has at just the age of 19. Now, when you do look into his stats, you can just see what elite prospects had to say about him in their draft guide. That shot may be the best of Lekkerimäki's offensive tool, but it's not the only one. He also has a reasonable deft handle with a skill to blend pass receptions in the dangles, maneuvering, sound mechanics based on the puck almost always handles into his hip pocket. His shot stands out, but he's also extremely high skill level. On the man advantage, just give him the puck and you get quality scoring chances each time. You will see goals. Now, like I said, just at 19, this guy has been outstanding in the SHL. You can see elite prospects saying how you can just give this guy the puck. He will create something. So when you do look at Jonathan Lekkerimäki, yes, Örebro is in the SHL playoffs. Yes, we might not see him until next year, but I'm almost certain within the next 2 years, this guy will be a staple on the Canucks. This guy is going to come in, change Abbotsford's power play, in my opinion, which isn't one of the strongest power plays in the AHL, but this guy's going to come into the system and just show that he can dominate on the man advantage, on 5-on-5. He might not be your team's best penalty killer. He might not see any penalty kill time, but having an offensive gifted player like this that you can slot onto this Canucks team is going to be huge. And once he does get his footing, when he does make it over from the SHL into North American ice, when he gets his footing in the AHL and makes his way up to the big club, I think he will make an impact that's going to keep him here. Like I said, you just look at these stats. He played with Örebro with 19 goals, 12 assists, 31 points in 46 games. In the World Junior Championship under 20, he had 7 goals, 3 assists for 10 points in 7 games. The 7 goals actually led the entire tournament. He played in the International Junior where he did put up 15 points in 12 games. And like I said, this guy's won a silver medal. This guy knows what it takes. He helped lead his team in the Tier 1 of the SHL to the playoffs. There was some crazy stat that they were 5-1-1 in their last 7 games with Lekkerimaki scoring. And in the games that he did not register a point, they were 0-5. This guy means everything to this team, and honestly, I'm going to end up tuning into a lot of these Örebro games just to see what he's going to bring, minus his goal scoring, his puck handling, his passing, power play specialty. This guy is going to be a game changer. So what's your guys' thoughts on Lekkerimaki? Do you think that Michigan goal was one of the best goals you've ever seen? If you haven't seen it, please go find it because it was outstanding. What's your thoughts on him joining the Abbotsford Canucks maybe at the end of the SHL playoffs? Or what's your thoughts on when he'll join the Canucks? Anyways, that'd be it for this episode of Canucks Digest. If you enjoyed this episode of just complete prospect breakdowns, let me know that in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, share this with your friends. Like I said, if you want to stay up to date with all the Canucks and you've just been enjoying seeing my face and this content, then hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. I just enjoy making these videos about the Vancouver Canucks because ultimately I cannot wait for them to win the Stanley Cup and be able to sit down, record a video, and just smile. But like I said, that'll be it for this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love reading through the comments. And with that, take care.